What's up, guys? It's your boy Fix It Daniel, and today we're going to be working on the Honda crosstour. We're going to be replacing some knock sensors that's causing a check engine light and some performance issues. So let's get into it. So guys, welcome to the channel. If you guys have not seen any of my videos, please go check them out. There's some good information on there and some good action as well. But today we're going to be on the Honda crosstour. I think it's 2018. So basically, customer and close friend, this is part of my mobile mechanic business thing. So he's complaining that there is an issue with the performance, and we've located it to the knock sensor. So basically, I think it's knock sensor bank 1. There's actually a bank 1 and a bank 2 of knock sensors. But since the sensors are literally right next to each other, basically one side of the motor and then one on the other side of the motor in the same valley, we're pretty much going to replace them both just for preventative maintenance and good measure, because it is a lot of work to get to it. There's no point replacing one when you see the next one right there and you can just replace it. So we're going to replace them both, and hopefully we'll fix this problem with performance. So the problem he's having is that he cannot drive. It's like it's bucking. It's almost giving you a like a limp mode kind of thing, where, you know, almost like a misfire, but it's not a misfire. There's no misfire. There's no other problems except for the knock sensor. So that can definitely cause some performance issues, some get up and go and stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace that, and hopefully it'll fix the problem, because that's really the only thing that's on the codes for his car is the knock sensor. So that's what we're going to be doing. So we got all the parts. There's some other stuff we're going to be doing on it later. I don't know if I'll film it, which is basically rear brakes, and we need to do a transmission fluid change and a filter change. I may do that one, but I feel like brakes are pretty much a common brake. Once you replace one of them, you replace them all. There's not much one that's more different than the other, unless you start doing, like, you know, Mercedes or BMWs or something like that. That's a little more specific. But yeah, so we're gonna do the knock sensor because that's the major thing. That's the reason why he can't hardly drive it. The brakes and the transmission are fine. They just preventative maintenance. So the knock sensor is what's really causing him not to be able to drive this vehicle. So that's what we're gonna go fix, because it's the lengthiest one. So let me show you what we got. All right, guys. So now got the hood up. This is what we're looking to replace, and here is the Honda code right here. We got one here, and we got the other one right here. So we're going to be replacing these both. We got to get this whole entire manifold off, and then it's right here in the valley. There's two. There's one on one side and then one on the other side. So I'm going to show you guys how we're going to get this all off. So let's go ahead and not waste any time and get into it, because I got a nice little tent up and everything is good to go. So let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, so we're getting all the plugs off. I got two plugs back here. We're trying to get everything off of this here so that way we can lift it up. So I'm basically just taking the connector off that goes here. There's a connector off that goes here. And now I'm trying to get the air box off and out the way. There's a little cable here that we need to get up and off and out of the way. So really quite simple. Just take it and bend it so we can get this out of the way. And now we're going to work on getting this air box off. we're gonna go ahead and get this air box off. Clips off. Make life a little easier. And then we got one more clip over here we gotta get off. loosen this up to get it out the way, so we got some room. So that works. Okay. Get you guys. Get you guys over here. All right, so basically we got to get this throttle body off. 4 screws, get it off. We got all this cabling and tubes and stuff, so we just need to get it off this. So that shouldn't be too hard. Then we got some other tubes and stuff we have to get off. So we'll go ahead and knock those out real quick. Tube here, and then you got another tube here. Alright, got that tube off. Let me get this tube back here. Got that tube off. Got another one down here, but I think I can get it off with the nuts. So we'll see how difficult it is. Alright, but first we're going to go ahead and get this off. Like I said, it's 4 bolts. It's probably it's 12. Oop, sorry about that. Alright, no problem. That's it, actually. I had 2 nuts on top, and like we got an actual stud in this one. I got a long stud here, and the other one should be the same, I think. Yeah, it's the same. So 2 studs on the bottom and 2 nuts on the top. There we go. So it's gonna fight a little bit because of the hoses and stuff. So you just gotta find your way to work it off. Gonna be a little tricky, but you gotta fight it a little bit. These lines are, this one line here is pretty short, but hopefully, oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. All right, now we're off. Just these 2 studs up top. So you see we got that off. Now we just gotta get this piece off here. Alrighty, so let me get you guys off. So So pretty much just showing you, got this off. It just slides off because it's got some hoses down there. I got all these hoses, this hose off. There's another hose right here. What you want to do is you want to make sure nothing is on top that's attached. Everything that's off this little clip here. I got these hoses off. I got this one off, this off, just to get everything out of the way so you got room to yank this up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get this cover off, get these bolts off, and then there should be the little bolts ends line that's holding this on. Then it just comes right out. So that's what we're going to do next. So get you guys back on the mount. I'm going to move you guys over to this side. Try to keep you out of the sun so my camera doesn't overheat. But just got to get all these bolts off. So they're all 10 mils. All right, so let's go ahead and start getting them off. Wrong way. So let me get a box for those. So let's put them all in there. All right, some's got nuts, but you can kind of tell which one's got the nuts. Alright, so let's pull this up. Alright, so as you see, you get access. Let me show you. So now we got to take these bolts out. These are the ones that are holding down the actual plenum. So it looks like another 10s. So we do that and we get that out and it should come right up. We'll go from there. So let's keep on going. It should be 10s if I'm not mistaken. Nope, they're a little bigger. Yep, they're a little bigger. 12. Nice long bolts. Same. A little stuck in there, but it's okay. Alright, get this last bolt out. That. Whew. Even in the morning, it's still hot. So hopefully we should be good. All right, so now we should be able to just lift it up, hopefully. Yep, like so, and then up and out. Really quite simple. All right. So let me get my light real quick. Oh yeah, I see it. It's down in there. So what we're gonna have to do is we're also going to have to pull this manifold. So some vehicles, they're split. They're like a split half. But this isn't the case. This is an actual full line, full set. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to, looks like there's 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 bolts, and then the same thing on the other side. It's going to be a little trick to get to them, but this line and rails are gonna probably have to come out, which is going to be fun, but we'll figure it out. So yeah, so we're going to undo all these lines, and probably have to pull this rail. That's going to be fun. So I'm going to have to crack this line to get the rail off. I wasn't expecting that, but I guess I probably should have, since it's the blower intake manifold. Should have expected that. But I know you can't see it, but I can see both knock sensors. They're literally right across from each other. If there was an easier way of getting them in and out without having to take this plenum off, I would definitely do it, but there really isn't. So, yeah. So we're gonna have to undo this line to break it, and then we could probably do the lift and out kind of motion, just get it up out of our way, so that way we can at least get down there to it without actually have to take all of this off. But the bolts is what's gonna be the trick of trying to get all this off, because we got some there. I don't know if we got any on the other side. We do got one on the other side. I don't know if there's one in the middle or not, and there is one in the middle. So yeah, literally the easiest way would be to get this rail out, unpop the rail, get the fuel rail out, and then we can get to all the bolts, and then it should be no problem. So we're gonna have to do that. So let me figure out how to get all this all done, which I know how to do it. It's just gonna be tricky, but we'll get it all taken out and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, so we're back. So all I've been really doing is just getting all these harnesses out the way, which I did. They're all unbolted, they're all unclipped, sorry. And then I just been working on getting the fuel rails off. So there's 2 bolts on either side. I got them off. I used a little magnet tool so that they didn't drop. So it's very important. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pop this off. Hopefully we can get it to go this way so we can get access to those bolts, and then we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and try and see if we can do that. So we just gently pop these up. We may have to get a little something. So this one's all by itself. There you go, work it loose. They've been in there a while, so they're gonna fight you. Oh no, not that one. I didn't want that to come off. Ah, shucks. I wasn't trying to get that off. I was trying to get this thing off. We got it off. I wasn't trying to get this off, I was trying to get those off, but we'll re-grease these so it'll fit, so they don't give us a problem. But we got it. So now we gotta do is get this side off. Been in there a while, so it's gonna take some forcing to get out, but we're coming. There they are. I think this one's gonna do the same thing. Yep. Wasn't expecting that to be as messy, but it did. All right, let's get another rag. All right, so we're bagging it. Okay, so this gives us somewhat access to the rest of the bolts. There's 2 bolts here on the side. It's going to be a little bit of a trick, but I don't know how we're going to get to those. The rest of them are all, there's 2 stud bolts on either end and then the little ones in the center. So we're going to have to figure this out. I'm gonna have to get a little long wrench in there or something to get to those. I think I can get to the other one over there. I think these are 10s. Let me find out real quick. Okay guys, after painstakingly trying to figure out how to get this manifold out, I figured out a way of doing it without actually having to get the manifold out. So I was pretty much getting these bolts, these 12mm bolts undone, and then I got all the way to this last one here, the one right down here. So basically the problem I ran into was this. I don't know if you could see it, is that I can't get to it because this big huge pipe is in my way. But if you look right here, if you look down in the hole, there's one sensor right there. There's the other sensor right there. I can get to it. These holes are big enough. Like, look how big this hole is. It's 2 fingers, 3 fingers big. So I could literally get a swivel head to get that off on one side and a swivel head to get this one off on the other side, and then we'll be good to go. And then all I gotta do is get that bolt off to get this harness out. So this harness right here, this harness straight down, that's the harness for these 2 sensors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to unbolt this bracket that's holding the harness, and then unbolt these bolts, and hopefully we can yank this out without any problem. I don't know how this is going to work. We'll figure it out. But I think I can get my hand in there to get that off, and I don't have to take this plenum off. Because if I take this plenum off, I have to figure out how to get this bolt off, this pipe off. And I don't really know how to do that without making it very difficult. So I'm gonna try and see if this will work before I go any further. So let me try and see if I can figure this out, and I'll get it out. Okay guys, and just like that, we got it out. It is all right here. So this went on the back side of the motor, this went on the front side of the motor right here. So this one's on the back, this one's on the front. So all I gotta do is just replace these and then reverse put them back in there. So we'll bolt this one back on first, and then we'll bolt this one back on, and then we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and get those chains out. All right guys, I just had to show you this before I move forward. So I don't know if it'll work, but I'm just gonna get some light down here. I don't know if you could see that, but okay, so there's one sensor, there's the second one, that little nut up top. As you see, I got it all in there. I just took that little nut, which is right about there, right there, that 12mm nut, got it out and got this harness out. And then I basically just, once I got the harness off and got those 2 nuts off, I just pulled it right out, then rolled it back in, and I finagled it with like magnets and everything, extensions and swivel heads, and I eventually got it in. So there is, so if you don't have the split kind of lower intake, you can just do it without taking it out. And like I said, the reason why I didn't take it out was because, if I can move this bag here, right where that metal pipe is, you see the lower part of the intake, there's a nut right there. This pipe goes right in front of that, and that would have been hellacious trying to get that out. So I really pretty much loosened these up for nothing. So I'm gonna tighten them back up, and I didn't have to take it off. So if you have this kind of motor that's in your crosstour, you don't have to take the manual, the lower intake off. You don't have to take it off. If you can, I zip tied this off to the side to mount to this. I zip tied this to that, and I got my hand like under here, and then I got that bolt out, and I could get through this hole here, and then this hole in the back side, or that hole in the back side, and I got those nuts off to get those knock sensors out, and I pretty much got it out without taking this off at all. Because I was on the verge of it, and just that last little bolt was stopping me from getting this whole entire thing out, and I didn't know how to figure it out. But now I already got it, and those 2 knock sensors are all now, so I'm gonna back it in. So now all I have to do now is put this all back together in reverse order. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay guys, so we are pretty much buttoned up. Had to do a time lapse, so just giving you a heads up. So the inner bolts for the manifold was 16 foot-pounds, which is not a whole lot. You can, if you're pretty torquey like I am, I can torque them pretty good. Then you pretty much can do that. And then these are 9, but these don't need to be super tight because there's really nothing. It's just maybe just keeping dirt and debris out of it, but really honestly up under there's really nothing. There's just a line going through inside the manifold. It's nothing. So 9 on these and then 16 on the actual inner ones, and then just button it all back up. So we're pretty much ready to go. I just need to hook back up the battery, hook up in the computer, get this thing to turn over. Hopefully we don't get any fuel leaks, and then we should be good to go. So let me get that going, and then we'll see what happens. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start it up, then we'll hook the computer in, and then we'll see how it goes. So let's get started and see what it does. All right, we're going to check for leaks. Nope, no leaks. No leaks. Good. So now we'll go and check the computer and see if the code went clear. All right, guys, and just like that, looks like we're getting pretty good. That's just the what's it called? The TPMS. That system right there is the TPMS. So we're not worried too much about that. We're good. See, scroll, make sure there's nothing else. Nope, we are good to go, guys. That is a TPMS. That's just the supplemental inflation retarded system. That's just the TPMS sensor gone bad. So, or not working or whatever. But we're good now. So we can go ahead and start this bad boy up. All right. Oh. And as you see, we got no check engine light. No check engine light. We are good to go, guys. Those two, that's just the seatbelt because I don't have my seatbelt on. I don't know what's with the airbag. That might be with that inflation system, but I know the TPS sensor is not working, but there's no check engine light. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this tent out and then move the CRV, and then we're gonna take this for a spin and see how it goes. All right, guys, so we are done. The car is running good. It does probably need some more fuel cleaning and stuff like that, but we'll worry about that later. But the main part, the knock sensor, worked really good. As you can see, the car is done, no more hood up. Everything is good to go. So checked it, computer is good and clear, drove it, no more of that hesitation. Everything is good to go. He can ready to drive it, but we still got a few more things we got to do. We got to do the rear brakes, we got to bleed the rotors all the way around, and then we got to do the transmission flush and then fluid and change and then filter, and then he's done. So yep, that's pretty much it. So if you guys have a Honda Crosstour and you need something done like that with the knock sensor, it's really not that hard. This one was not too bad. I did not have to pull out the lower intake manifold, which actually worked out better for me in the long run, because if I had to take out the lower intake manifold, I'd still be under the hood right now, because that big huge pipe is right in front of that bolt, and I guess I had to figure out how to get that pipe out to get to that bolt. I was literally on the verge of getting it out, but then it would have been easier, because you could get in there, you could take it out, you could tighten it up, put it all back. That's no problem if you have to go that route. But if you could save yourself some time and finesse it a little bit and wiggle it in there, I had to use a magnet and a long extension with a swivel head on it, and then it all worked out. If you guys want to do it that way, you can do it as well. Like I said, just figure out a way to finagle it and it's good to go. I really hope that you guys enjoy this. Hopefully it works out for you. If it does, please give me a comment. Let me know that this worked out for you. This has good, helpful information. So it's different cars I'm trying to get onto and doing, which is working out. I'm really enjoying my LLC thing. Working on people's cars is what I've always wanted to do. And I really enjoy doing it. Thank you so much for watching. Please, 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 if you are not subscribed to my channel and you like my channel and you like everything about it, please subscribe. Give me a like and comment everything. It really does help me grow, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I really enjoy helping you guys out with all the information. If you need any, it really does help, and I do like doing it. So if you guys would share with your friends and anybody who has these kind of cars or the truck or whatever, please always give me a shout out. With all being said, you guys have a good and blessed day, and I'm gonna see you on the next fix. Until then, peace.